NDIUM is the fully customizable, integrated virtual tabletop built for content creators with a player-run marketplace, or at least it will be when it's done. What you see before you is a user interface mock-up that I've made, displaying some of the core features of the program. Here we have the virtual tabletop, something that I think everybody is familiar with at this point. And then over here on each corner, we have the main user interface elements. This is the online tools. This should be everything that you would deal with if you need to manage players, have a chat, music, storyboard, etc. It should all be in one place. It shouldn't take up as much space as I think a lot of VTTs do. Now over here, we have the notes section. One of the things that's really important about the notes is that it can be shared between players and the GM on the fly. So we have the global tab. We have an archive for looking back at previous notes you've made for other sessions, personal, anything you might want to keep private, as well as a whiteboard for doodling and idea creation. Over on this side, we have the character sheet. Here we're starting to touch on the core part of NDIUM, and that is the full customizability. Everything you're seeing here on this character sheet is something that would be customizable by the GM. We'll get to that in a future video, though. And over in this corner, we have the compendium. You're only going to be able to see what the GM decides to share with you, of course, but you will be able to search through everything and see any details that they might want to show. For instance, you might have a particular cursed spoon that was given to you by the GM, and at first it might just display as a normal spoon because the GM has decided to hide that information from you. But as you figure out that it's cursed, they would be able to specify that you may now see that information and you'd be able to read all the details about that object. Now here at the top we have the initiative tracker, pretty self-explanatory, and at the bottom we have any map related tools. And here in the center, we have a preview of how the tokens are going to look. One of the cool features that we have is the ability to display height, such as these flying creatures over here. That would be able to be manipulated here with the change height tooltip as you select one of these characters. It'll also display for you the effects on a particular creature, such as if they are, for instance, blinded, or perhaps they are dead. This is information that you might want to show here. And these bars at the top, these would directly correlate to anything in the character sheet or in that entries sheet. And this would be part of the customizability that you would be given as the GM. You could specify any one of these attributes here to show up in the virtual tabletop. Now, following along this core concept of full customizability, we are going to be introducing the ability to customize every element of the interface that you are seeing here. Obviously, you'd be able to do things such as change the order of these components around the page, but you'd also be able to completely retexture the UI yourself. On the marketplace, you'd even be able to sell those textures and skins as you see fit. You'll also be able to customize your dice, create custom 3D files and upload them yourself. But if you just want to get started immediately and have the user interface reflect the scene that you see before you, we introduce the ability to have the UI dynamically change its color according to the map that you have displayed in the background. So we have teal, blue, and green, as opposed to the red scene that we just saw. This is where we're currently at with the user interface designs. Please come back to playndium.com as we'll be posting content updates regularly. We currently have a Kickstarter campaign in the works, and we really need your help. So I really appreciate it if you could sign up to our newsletter. We will be notifying you the moment that we have a date for the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you for your time, and good night.